when you look at gambling, trends play such a huge part. It's not so much about how good this player is and how bad this player is, how the teams a lot of the times. You have to consider the trends. Let me give you one. Last year, the Pacers, and I looked up all this information today, but you can double check if you guys need to. Last year, the Pacers lost the first game of each playoff series.
Okay.
Each playoff series, they lost the first game. This year, they have won the first game of each playoff series. Now, what does that mean? The Thunder are, right now, they're 9.5-point favorites in this first game. In game one, okay? My thing is, I want to take the Pacers plus 9.5, okay? Now, because they have, I'm not saying they're going to win. The trend is that they have a good chance to steal this. And if they want to have a chance in the series, they need to steal game one. So the key bet there is to bet the Thunder in 4, a sweep, or 5 games.
Oh, that's where your best value is.
That's where your best value is.
Okay.
And if you are strong on the Thunder and I think that's one of the better bets to make.
Okay.
All right. Especially you can catch it in 5. Like, okay, the Pacers might, whatever.
Yeah.
Get one game, and that's fine. And you can still walk away with a good amount of money there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, if I, gun to my head, I had to give a result, I would say OKC in 5.
Okay.
I feel like the Pacers are good enough that they'll get a game somewhere, but I'm not convinced, strongly that they're going to get 2 or 3 games or win the damn thing.
Yeah. The ultimate problem about this series, first of all, I want to watch it for the same reasons why you guys just said it there, stylistically and all of that good stuff. But it's not a lot to go off of as far as, the Thunder, they beat the Pacers twice in the regular season. Okay. We know that they're the best team in the league. Peak and I, we both picked the Thunder at the beginning of the season to win the final. So it's like, all of the cards are stacked against them. But you do have like this exciting Cinderella-esque run because people kind of forget that the Pacers were just in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. But even though they were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, that series was over in 4 or 5 against the Celtics, right? So we know that they're the inferior team, but it feels like a magical run.
Well,
that's what this has that feel.
Again, because, and as we talked about this a few weeks ago, like, they didn't have like a commanding regular season.
Right.
So it didn't feel like they went to the final, they upped themselves and they rolled to this spot. They were kind of mediocre most of the regular season and then really, got rolling as the playoffs went along. So there is a Cinderella element that I don't think we can deny in what they've achieved. No,
100%. 100%. Now, some other bets that I have. Again, one of my best bets is OKC in 4 or 5. Okay. You can bet that pretty much everywhere. All right. Another best bet that I have here. When you look at gambling, right? I kind of got to sell these bets because people are going to be like, what? When you look at gambling, trends play such a huge part. It's not so much about how good this player is and how bad this player is, how the teams a lot of the times. You have to consider the trends. Let me give you one. Last year, the Pacers, and I looked up all this information today, but you can double check if you guys need to. Last year, the Pacers lost the first game of each playoff series.
Okay.
Each playoff series, they lost the first game. This year, they have won the first game of each playoff series. Now, what does that mean? The Thunder are, right now, they're 9.5-point favorites in this first game. In game one, okay? My thing is, I want to take the Pacers plus 9.5, okay? Now, because they have, I'm not saying they're going to win. The trend is that they have a good chance to steal this. And if they want to have a chance in the series, they need to steal game one. Yeah. But I'm thinking they're going to make a game out of this game one, okay? Also, in one of the games against the Thunder in the regular season, they did put up a good fight, okay? They beat the spread, if you will. Okay, in one of the games they got blown out, but in one of the games they covered the spread. So you have that. Okay, and so this is a trend bet that I believe you go with, and I am going with the Pacers plus 9.5. Okay, any severe objections to that?
No, I mean, kind of like the last series with the Knicks. I mean, they came out and stole that game, and I feel like that was a big momentum shift for them to kind of carry that into winning the series. So I mean, I agree. You know, you need to gain as much ground as you can as soon as you can, and kind of bury whatever momentum OKC has coming in quickly. And again, maybe you could steal 2 games and make it interesting, or hopefully take it all the way for the Pacers' sake. But
I agree. I mean, you have to think they've won 3 game ones in a row in this playoff run, and their mentality taking it for tomorrow night is, let's go do what we do. We win game 1.
Yeah.
Don't matter where we play. We win game 1. And so, yeah, sure. I like it.
Okay.
Yeah, and again, because you have the +9, you have a margin.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so if they play well and whatever, something happens and OKC wins by a bucket or 2, you still win your bet.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I like that.
All right. I have 2 more. The third one is here.
Not going to do the second one?
That it was the second one. The first one is the OKC in 4 or 5,
okay,
right?
sure.
You sniffed that out early. All right. So my third one here is you want to take Tyrese Halliburton, okay? You want to take his under on points, rebounds, assists, okay? So in both games this season, they have bottled up Tyrese Halliburton. Okay, and also it's more so than just looking at it from the games in the regular season. You look at it, okay, the Thunder have like really dominant perimeter defenders that they can spread out. So it's like they don't even have to put one of them on Siakam because either Chet or Hardenstein is pretty much going to guard Siakam because Siakam plays the 4 for the Pacers. So that means you have Lou Dort, you have
Jalen Williams, both Jalen Williams,
Caruso. Yeah. You have all these guys that they can just rotate and expend on Halliburton as they so choose.
Shea as well.
So I think you want to do that for the first game. Also, if you look at it, every first game in this playoff run for Halliburton, he comes out, he's more assist heavy than points, okay, in the first game. And he's kind of filling it out. So if anything, you want to take the over in assists for the first game for Halliburton, but definitely for points and rebounds, you want to go under, okay? Yeah. Does that make any sense there?
Makes plenty of sense.
Yeah, no, I get it. And to me, if you're a great defensive team like the Thunder is, and you know that this team, the Pacers are getting out in leads in each series, you want to cut the head off the snake. And so if I'm OKC, I'm coming in game 1 with the home crowd. I'm coming with a buffet of defenders. I'm coming with a buffet of defensive tactics. And I'm just going to try and fuck him up all night.
Yeah.
And we knew what happened in the one game with New York when he was down near, I think, 10 points or something really low. They die without him.
Yeah.
And so I think that they have the tools to attack him individually, with defenders, and I think that should be the plan. So I like that.
Okay.
I think down low for the Pacers is going to be key. Like Miles Turner and Pascal really need to dominate the paint to kind of alleviate some of that pressure from Halliburton and open it up. I think if Miles Turner has a big series, the Pacers potentially win. I think he's a big X factor for them because he can shoot the 3, but he's also their down and dirty guy, getting boards, cleaning up boards, getting putbacks and all those things. And he's, 10 years in the league at this point, right? So he's, a seasoned vet. And, I mean, Pascal Siakam has championship experience already. So I feel like those 2 guys, really dominating the paint and asserting themselves in the paint will be a key to victory for the Pacers.
That is such a great point because I believe that is the Pacers' only avenue to a victory because it's realistic as well if it goes right. Like Pascal and Miles Turner, they have to win their battle against Chet and against Hardenstein, and I think they can.
I think more so against Chet too, because he can be bullied a little bit.
He can be.
Hardenstein, I think, was a great pickup, kind of very underrated pickup for them because he gave him that down low presence that kind of more traditional big. So Chet can gonna be more on the perimeter a little bit, help defense get those blocks and things. But if they can, kind of rotate Hartenstein off of whoever has the ball and just go pick at Chet, again, that's another thing that's going to, be a key point for them if they're trying to win the series.
Yeah, that's definitely one of their avenues to winning the series. So, yeah.
Like you said, it might be their only realistic one.
It might be their only realistic avenue. No, that's very – I love that. Okay. My last one here is the one I like the least, but I'm still going to bet it because it just makes sense to me, okay? There is a huge positive, to take Shai Gilgeous, just total assists in this series over Tyrese Halliburton. And it sounds weird, but when you look at it again, you take from the regular season, but also when you look at it like, okay, if you believe that OKC is going to dominate the series, okay, if you believe that they're going to do that, that means that one of their avenues is that they're going to take the head off the snake, and that Tyrese is going to be less involved. And if you look at both games, one game he had 4 points and 8 assists. Okay, and the other game he had about 12 or so and about 5 or 6 assists. Okay, and when you look at it from that lens, okay, and OKC is going to get out and run a lot. Shea's going to have the ball. I think that's a solid bet. Now, I'm not as strong as the others, but I'm still going to put my money on that. Okay, and I have no trend behind it either, other than the regular season. The 2 games, and that's sometimes that's not even enough because you have the East-West.
Sample size.
It's such a small sample
and the way
size.
those games played out, like you said, one was kind of competitive, the other wasn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Was that a game where they might have just kind of pulled Halliburton and others
See?
early?
Yeah,
that's not. I think that bet is a total crapshoot.
Okay, yeah.
That's fair. You might win it. I don't feel any strong inclination on that bet whatsoever.
Yeah.
Shea's not a super high assist guy,
right.
And a lot of what they do is steals and transition that he's not necessarily going to be involved in
anyhow.
So I don't like. Again, I'd have a tough time gauging his assist going into the series. Halliburton, it's a big part of what he does. So even when he's playing poorly, I still think some assist numbers will be there. I tend to think that you'll do a better job of maybe limiting his points and making him high turnover, but I think the assist will be there.
Yeah.
At a decent level. So I think, I wouldn't make that bet because it's just one of those things like, who the hell knows?
Yeah.
For me.